This week on Spotlight, how plants are nourishing both people and the planet. Supporting monarch butterflies by enhancing their habitats in unlikely places. Plus, documenting new species of plants inside this massive collection from around the world. But first, using food to prevent illness, a place giving people hope by teaching them a healthier way to live. Eat your fruits and vegetables. That's something most of us have heard since we were kids. And although we know it's the healthy choice, it's not always the easiest. That's where this place comes in.
I said, is anybody else in the country doing this? Because I would like to call them and learn from them and learn how I can do this in St. Louis. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, right?
Karen Dugan is the owner of the Center for Plant-Based Living.
We are in the nation's first plant-based nutrition and education culinary center, the Center for Plant-Based Living. We have hands-on cooking classes, demonstration cooking classes. All of the classes are plant-based, which means no animal products at all, and we also don't use any oils.
They also teach the science behind this lifestyle, something the center's medical director, Dr. Jim Loomis, knows a lot about.
In 2011, I adapted a plant-based diet. I had become unhealthy, eating what I thought was a healthy diet.
He was interviewed for the 2019 Netflix documentary, The Game Changers.
Biggest misconception in sports nutrition is that we have to have animal protein to perform at a high level. That's just not true.
Dr. Loomis is the former team physician for the St. Louis Cardinals and the St. Louis Rams.
You know, I knew what a vegan was, but to me, a vegan, they ate granola and hugged trees and wore Birkenstocks. It just wasn't my lifestyle. But the idea of using food as medicine really just resonated all of a sudden, and it's like this light bulb went off.
He says using food as medicine is the key to fighting many illnesses.
That we have turned these chronic conditions like high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, we've turned them into chronic diseases, but they're not chronic diseases. They're actually normal physiologic responses to abnormal behaviors.
It's a fun place to be. We have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot. We have a lot of different fun programs, but it's also a very serious thing too, because they come in here I see people come in here with just a white face and they think, I don't know what to do. I cannot be on pills anymore. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I've been on pills forever and ever.
Dugan understands where many of her clients are coming from because she used to be in their shoes.
I adopted a plant-based diet in 2008. I lost my dad to cancer. 10 weeks after he passed away, I was diagnosed. Honestly, I went to Dr. Google and I started keying in, cancer prevention, chronic illness prevention, immune boosting, whatever it was. And the results that kept generating always talked about a vegan diet.
It's a way of eating that's starting to catch on.
I think patients are really starting to understand the fundamental relationship between food and their health, and they're desperate really for resources. And so being able to come and have fun and learn and such an amazing place and such amazing food from such an amazing teacher is just astounding.
On the 10-year anniversary of her father's passing, the Center for Plant-Based Living put down its roots in Kirkwood.
People have been so gracious and so kind and so thankful that we've opened up this space.
Since then, it's grown into a place where learning to eat your fruits and vegetables can actually be kind of fun.
I hope it gives them hope and a sense of power and a sense of control, and they leave a lot happier.
HEC Media has 6 YouTube channels, including science, history, art, authors, Black History, Achievement, and Culture, and all things St. Louis. Find your favorite, then scroll down to explore HEC Media's other partner channels, all on YouTube.
This open field in the middle of Illinois is filled with native wildflowers and other plants that attract pollinators. and butting up against it is this power substation. Surprisingly, that was part of the plan.
Ameren has been planting pollinator-friendly native vegetation projects for over 10 years now. And prior to that, wherever there's an opportunity to put in a soft herbaceous plant community, so native wildflowers and shorter growing grasses, we do that. One of the focuses is pollinators. The monarch butterfly is supposed to be listed as threatened or endangered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in the near future, and we know that our work could have an impact on those habitats. And when you are also managing for monarchs, you help other pollinators like native bees, the honeybees that are around, pollinating flies, wasps, beetles. There are a lot of pollinators out there. All that insect biodiversity is supporting birds, small animals, all the other animals that eat those things. So we're having a great effect throughout food chain, food web, the local ecosystem.
In addition to providing a safe haven for pollinators, this type of project has another benefit.
Projects like this are great for managing stormwater. The roots of the native plants around me have root systems that are much longer than the plant is tall. So they cut down into the clay and all of the soil around, and they're able to create a more absorptive surface for rainwater to actually fall and become absorbed rather than hit a hard surface or soil that's like hard packed and hasn't been worked in a while, especially around our developed areas. We have soil that is definitely packed down. Water won't be hitting that and rolling off into a storm sewer, down a drainage ditch, and contributing to localized flash flooding.
And she says individuals don't have to have hundreds of acres to make a difference. They can do it in their own backyards.
You don't need a whole lot of species to get going in your garden to be able to provide a positive benefit to monarch butterflies and other pollinators. If you want to manage for monarchs, add a milkweed component in there. If you have just a little triangle in the back of your yard, you're not sure what to plant, or maybe you're looking for a different garden idea, or you want to plant even a mailbox garden just in the front of your property, you can put it anywhere where you have enough sun, you can get water to it, and start your native plants.
HEC Media. Recognized, celebrated, honored time and again for excellence in the industry. Find all of the award-winning content at hecmedia.org.
From the native and familiar to the exotic and rare, the Missouri Botanical Garden has over 27,000 plants on permanent display. But there is another part of the garden, one that is seen by very few, that holds around 8 million specimens collected from all over the world. In stark contrast to the vibrant, living beauty found in areas like the Rose Garden or the Climatron, the plants at the herbarium are frozen in time, preserved at the moment of collection for research and reference.
Yeah, this is in from the savannas in Brazil.
The herbarium receives boxes every week filled with samples that need to be documented, described, and named. This process turns a dried plant into a specimen.
It's got a label that says where and when it was collected. It has an identification, and that's not always easy because the garden works in tropical areas where we're the first exploration and nobody's been there before. So I have to document the species, and that includes giving them scientific descriptions for the first time. And that's when you get to name them.
Botanist Charlotte M. Taylor holds the distinction of naming more species of plants than any other woman alive.
Charlotte is a legend. There's no other way of putting it. She has a great deal of expertise in plant taxonomy, so the classification of plants, especially in the coffee family. But she's also a really massive expert in plant nomenclature, which is a complex set of rules that have been put in place to make sure that plants are named correctly and consistently across the world in an unambiguous way.
So, of course, the burning question is, how is a plant's name chosen?
We have a code of nomenclature rules. Article 29.1, the name of a species is completely arbitrary and may be anything as long as it uses the Latin alphabet. We try to put something in it to remind people of what it is, where it's from, what color the flowers are. We often name things for botanists because it's kind of an honor. A lot of people work hard and risk their lives, and this is all you get. You're going to name a species name for you, and hopefully it's a nice one. Sometimes it's an ugly one.
There's more to plants in the herbarium, there are a lot of stories of botanists, stories of places and the people and the cultures.
This is one from Ecuador. And this is named, it was discovered by my colleague David Neal, who has worked in Ecuador for 50 years. But he said that it's important in the indigenous communities down there that it has a sweetening effect like stevia does, and that they put it in drinks and things. And so we named it Dulcifolia, sweet leaf.
The herbarium's enormous collection, started in the 1840s, is a testament to the courage and tenacity of many botanists over the years.
I initially thought I was going to be a pre-med, and then on a whim I took a field botany class and absolutely loved it. And I thought, well, there's no going back.
Heidi Schmidt's love of plants has taken her all over the world, from China to Madagascar, the harsh climates and sleeping rough, all part of the adventure.
I enjoy doing fieldwork, personally. I love it. Fieldwork has always been thought of as something like a male-dominated field because you need to be physically strong. Traditionally, women have not been thought as capable as men. And it's not just being physically strong, it's having other attributes too, the ability to recognize plants in the field, the ability to work well with others because you're in a field situation where not everyone is maybe from the same country. I have seen improvement. That's not to say that I'd like to see more.
Carmen Polisi's work has taken her to almost every country in Southeast Asia, collecting and teaching others the skill of plant identification.
It is actually less glamorous than it sounds. I usually go to remote places in forests and collect plants and press them, dry them, and then bring them back to my institution and to the local herbaria for study by specialists, including myself.
Just for the record, we do not work alone in any country. We work in collaboration with people in country, and our overall goal is capacitation so that people in those countries can take over doing this.
Charlotte spent years in the field herself, mostly in South America, before the garden decided to use her talents in a different way.
They changed my job to something I find super cool. I write reference books. I'm the person that writes the book that you need to use to identify plants and to do your ecological work. And about half of what I do is collect known information, and half of it is I figure out the things no one knows.
Charlotte works on Rubiaceae, or the coffee family. It's one of the largest in the plant world and has given her plenty of puzzles to solve.
One group of plants in my group is poisonous. They grow where the cattle are in Brazil and Colombia and Venezuela. And the cattle are not from South America, so they don't know what's good and what's bad. So they eat these plants, and there's a chemical in there, monofluoroacetate, that is as poisonous as cyanide. And so the cattle eat the plant and they fall over dead. Literally, there are pictures of them like lying there. And there are a lot of similar plants, so I went in to try to help identify. And my colleague from the Department of Agriculture, he was working with the Brazilians. And he took samples of this looking for poison, and we build sequentially on the work we do. So he put this label on saying who sampled it for chemicals when. So he analyzed our specimens. So we had documentation of what species grow where. I had the identifications on them, and he knows which ones are poisonous. To get from the one little level of data I take to a bigger picture of life and a bigger hypothesis and put more information together, it takes people who know different parts.
Heidi Schmidt added to her own taxonomy and systematics background and completed training in conservation assessment, allowing her and Charlotte to collaborate on work around the specimens collected in Madagascar.
And this is something that's very useful to sort of give people a broad idea of the risk of extinction for certain species. And so Charlotte was very interested in being able to include this information with all these new species that she's been describing. Madagascar is a very unique opportunity to work on a flora that's not very well documented, that is incredibly unique with almost 90% endemic plants to the island. It's an island that needs study now, and there's just so much baseline data we just don't have.
The immense amount of baseline data housed in the herbarium is an important form of record keeping, providing a view not just into a plant's past, but also into our planet's future.
Through historical collection, we have snapshots of what a given area would have been 200 years ago, 100 years ago, and then 50, 20, 10, 5 years ago. And monitoring the plant diversity also allow us to understand where we are going, how fast, and what direction, because they are the best indicators of environment or environmental change.
Though the work that Charlotte, Heidi, and Carmen are doing is important, they also put a lot of energy into encouraging and including those who historically have been overlooked or undervalued.
Science has always been a white male-dominated environment, and that means that there's a very restricted niche. I think that the solution to the problem is diversity.
I'm very much encouraged by the collaboration and team aspect that we have here at the garden. You want people to bring new ideas, and not only new ideas, but you want people to challenge you.
That's where you get originality, and that's where you get innovation.
We're all smarter together. People come in with the most surprising ideas because they lived a different life.
Next week, the transformative power of art, how these murals hope to inspire a community. Plus, a group creating opportunities for artists from Latin America. Thanks for watching Spotlight. Join us for a brand new episode on Thursdays.